Welcome back, guys. We are going to be streaming this National Pokemon Association match between Raphael Bagara and Max Douglas in the 2015 VGC format. I'm commentating here with Kimo Nishimura, the older brother of our new regional champion, Thomas Nishimura. Hey,
What's up,
Kimo.
everybody?
So we have to disclose that we have conflicts of interest. Um,
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
yeah,
That's
that's
pretty
a
fair.
diplomatic way of putting it. Kimo is the manager of Rafa's team. I'll let you say a few words about that.
All right, so let me just start off by saying that Rafa is easily the best Canadian. So when you're walking into this matchup, there's no contest between Rafa, Nats runner-up 20, and Star Metroid.
Yeah, although I have to say that Max, both one of my friends and Victoria player, as part of the Fortune Bravebirds and senior author on VGC with Hats blog that Rafa joined, Max has really taken Rafa under his wing, and
Oh.
and I feel like Rafa still has yet to climb out of that shadow if you look at the local scene. So I think we're gonna see some bird up.
Bird up in the
Yeah,
audience.
yeah. The audience clearly knows who's gonna win this match.
There's a lot of water coming down. I think it's the perfect time to go splashing.
uh, well, or what was? I was just thinking of Japanese translations of Pokemon moves if they're directly translated rather than the English versions. And thinking of
Yeah.
VGC 2016, I don't know how many of those. There's sort of the cliff is Precipice Blades, and then
That's
when,
actually a really cool name.
it is a really cool name. Kyogre's Origin Pulse, or no, Kyogre's Water Spout. If you translate it directly, it's not Water Spout. I think it was Squirting.
Squirting?
Yeah,
That's a big splash.
yeah, that would be splashing all over your opponent.
Yeah, that would be.
But of course, this is VGC 2015, so we're not going to see those Pokemon today anymore.
You guys get some Kangaskhan.
Yeah, we're going back to the age of Rock Slide and Swagger.
What do you prefer at a game?
You know, in best of three, I think that VGC 2016 is a fine metagame.
I also think it's totally fine.
In best of one, it's pretty punishing.
Yeah.
And so in best of one, I'd prefer to see VGC 2015, but we got the teams now. So Max is rocking a team of Kangaskhan, Amoonguss, Azumarill, Entei, Landorus, Therian, and Thundurus Incarnate. It's an interesting team. I don't think I've ever seen Max use this team before, which is why I'm caught off guard. Rafa is using a Kangaskhan, Amoonguss, Heatran, Landorus, Therian, Azumarill, and Thundurus as well. So two very similar teams. Heatran versus Entei, big difference there.
Yep.
So
I feel like just from a team perspective, like Max kind of has a bit more wiggle room. Entei is a lot more threatening against Sacred Fire on the Switch. It's way harder to switch in Entei and try to make a position play.
yeah,
Heatran, it's much easier to get yours safely belly drum.
yeah. I mean, I guess you're just agreeing that Max is definitely going to win this game.
I don't know about that. I think
Right off the bat.
the team disadvantage right now will just show the gap between players.
Oh,
Alpha will just rush this.
so Rafa's just going to catch every single Sacred Fire and get that Flash Fire boost every single time.
Yeah.
Just toy with him.
He will make every single in the book of Star Metroid.
Whoa, that's a tall order there. So both players are taking their time to choose their teams, and we're gonna hop right in here. This is a best of three match, so in VGC 2015 format, something we haven't seen in a while, and no more restricteds in this format. So Rafa leads with a combination of Kangaskhan and Thundurus.
Really appreciate the cone shout out. He knows his.
Yeah, and Max leads with a Thundurus, Landorus, Therian lead. Two Pokemon that are still common enough in VGC 2016, but definitely staples of the 2015 metagame. I like that Landorus Intimidate.
Landorus Intimidate's pretty. I mean, that scenario always comes down to now that my Landorus is in the back, I can get the more important Intimidate. The fake out pressure is really nice. Thundurus run protect less often in a game than they do. Probably get that information.
Yeah, that hidden power potential is there.
Yeah, hidden power ice is much more common. Landorus are generally star for assault vest.
Yeah, we did see Choice Band pick up a lot of popularity around U.S. Nationals and then Worlds, and you see, like you just said, that Landorus coming in gets maybe the more important Intimidate because, oh, but we actually see Landorus Protect here, and Protect Landorus, that means you're not running a Choice item, you're not running Assault Vest, and those kinds of Landorus, I think, are likely a special Life Orb variant most often.
Life Orb is the item I would.
With an Earth Power potential, though, and Hidden Power Ice of his own. So we'll see how that plays out. Thunderous launching a Thunderbolt into Narukami, dealing some chip damage, 30%. I didn't actually catch the Thunderous move there. Was that a electric type into Landorus slot?
Yeah, Thunder.
Thunderwave?
So, opening turn, we're seeing Rapha make the plays he needs. Basically just made Max's first turn a null turn. 3 damage, 3 Intimidate. He's in an excellent position.
Yeah, Max wouldn't find it sporting to win this game if he didn't give Rapha at least some advantage.
Oh.
So now this turn is interesting. Rapha is the non-intimidated Landorus, but Max apparently possibly a special Landorus, so I don't know if that Intimidate even matters. Might be running Stone Edge, which is a move that Life Orb special Landorus can use to clear opposing Thunderous, so that is potentially an Intimidate that mattered, especially on that lower attack stat. And we see Rapha switch Landorus out into Cordyceps, a fungus, which is a Mungus.
Did you actually know that was a fungus?
Yeah, I'm a biologist.
Oh, right.
Cordyceps is the fungus that takes over ant brains and turns them into zombies.
Oh, the Parasect real life thing.
Yeah. So we see Max's Thunderous launch a Swagger into Rapha's Thunderous. Rapha, knowing the power of Swagger after his Nationals run, Thunderous will see if it gets to attack here, and it does not. Well, Landorus also picked up some good damage on Amoonguss using Hidden Power Ice.
Alright, so what I see was a legitimate switch made by my player and a reliance on Swagger from the other player. In a best of 3 set, that leads me to believe that Rapha is going to be the winner.
Yeah, you could say that, except for the fact that you're in a bad position and you're going to lose game 1 if things keep going the way they're going. Now, we do have to remember that Landorus is Intimidator right now. Amoonguss, not really all that threatened by either of these Pokemon, except for the Swagger, which is GG. So Amoonguss will have to worry about that, but I think it's going to be able to get a Spore off unless Max is using both Swagger and Taunt. Those two not too common on the same Thunderous in VGC 2015.
Taunt really started dropping off in the opting for Swagger.
Yeah.
It's more applicable.
Yeah, Swagger is the move that you can use it when you don't want a Pokemon to be able to status. And we see Rapha switch out his Thunderous into Kangaskhan. And what is... Oh, Amoonguss actually opts to Protect here. Well, Max uses Hidden Power on the Thunderous slot. It'll hit a Kangaskhan. Deals pretty good damage for Hidden Power Ice. Still not that much. And Max doubles into that slot with Thunderbolts, so Kangaskhan taking a lot of damage. It could only have been worse if it got paralyzed.
Decent play on Max's. He definitely managed to take advantage of Rapha's switching. Rapha's making a lot of defensive play that's ending up ineffective compared to Max's offense.
I mean, Rapha didn't want to rely on a confused Thunderous to do what he wanted it to do. And that's one of the judgment calls you have to make in VGC 2015. Swagger is rampant, so when you're confused, there's the possibility that everything's A-okay, but you might need to make that defensive switch. We see Max pull his Thunderous back into his own Amoonguss, hoping possibly a great switch to eat a Spore. Kangaskhan Mega Evolving, and it's got the potential Fake Out right now. Who will it target down if it uses it at all? Max has that Protect on Landorus. This is not a Choice Landorus. This is not an Assault Vest Landorus. Kangaskhan Fake Outs into the Thunderous slot. It'll hit Amoonguss. It could only be worse if it's Rocky Helmet, which it is. So Max just playing Rapha like a fiddle. And now we see a Spore into the Amoonguss slot. And, such a good play by Max. How do you even respond to that? As the manager of
the Squishy Splash. I have full faith in my player to be able to take control of this game. I think Rapha is such a better player that he doesn't need Kangaskhan or 4 Pokemon to take this game. Amoonguss Landorus, that Landorus is weak. I'll tell you right now. Like, Life Orb, Hidden Power Ice is the only pressing. That does, like, 0 damage.
Yeah, I mean, it can also have other moves like Earthquake or Superpower or Stone Edge.
I would love for him to Earthquake in this. fake. But if for like maximum effect, do not press protect with that. For me.
I mean, Kangaskhan's at 12 HP. Landorus gets to do whatever it wants, and regardless of how
Like,
weak
run
you think it
away.
is, Kangaskhan's going to go down to anything right now. And we see Max switch Landorus out for Thunderous. Kangaskhan switches out. Rapha's going to preserve that fake out for his
Are we
own
gonna
Thunderous.
see the double safety goggles Thunderous?
Amoonguss uses Rage Powder on Max's side, which will not affect the opposing Amoonguss. So what
Okay.
does Rapha's Amoonguss use? Spore. And
Okay.
we do see the safety goggles Thunderous.
One for
Such a
two
good
so
game.
far.
Yeah, like I just say, you know, Max making very safe plays, putting himself in the best position to win, not taking lots of damage on his Kangaskhan. We haven't even seen Max bring out his Kangaskhan because he didn't have to retreat it on turn 1 because he got intimidated on turn 1 from the better lead combination.
Safety goggles is a pretty fun item. That was a trend that started picking up a lot toward the end. I ran that in NorCal. It's an excellent set. The ability to make basically a lot to something really annoyed by it. Great thing to have.
Yeah, and we see Thunderous from Rapha's side launch a Thunderbolt into the Max's Thunderous, while Amoonguss uses Sludge Bomb onto Rapha's Thunderous, dealing good damage, and then Rapha, like a scrub, launches a Spore into a grass Pokemon.
I mean, that turn made sense to me. But Max having Sludge Bomb, just like representative of him and his scene as a player. Poisonous, toxic.
And winning. And I guess Rapha part of that scene as well. Both of them are authors on the blog VGCwithhats.com. Both of them are local players in Vancouver. And Rapha, you know, okay, so he did just launch a Spore into an opposing Amoonguss. He's obviously predicting a switch in that didn't happen.
Hard read.
Yeah, hard
You know,
reads.
there's an alternate universe out there where you just like lost your mind because of what a great play that was.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think that's a fine play from Rapha because he's down right now, so he needs to make big plays to come back because Max is doing better than him. So
He's doing that much better. I mean, really, this is like a fairly standard kind of lame situation. Max's Thunderous take more damage than Rapha's.
that turn, yes, because Amoonguss used Energy Ball, which is that was something
He's
that was
got the energy of a champion.
so Energy Ball doing almost nothing, really inconsequential damage. Max obviously having the Amoonguss that can actually threaten opposing Thunderous because it's got Sludge Bomb instead of useless Energy Balls. What is Energy Ball even good for? Like Azumarill? We don't even see that right now. Oh, Thunderous.
Okay,
Finally,
here we go.
Finally we see something
That's
happen.
never going to move.
Yeah, so Rapha launches a Thunder Wave into Amoonguss. Max's Thunderous will finish off the opposing Thunderous, and that means Amoonguss is not going to be able to do anything worthwhile this turn because
KO
Max
that
made the better play.
Thunderous by being boss. Oh my lord. Oh, that's not KOing.
Yeah, so Rapha really wanting to Spore that paralyzed asleep target. I mean, that's a play where he's predicting a Landorus switch in and saying that if it's a Kangaskhan is paralyzed, if it's Amoonguss is paralyzed, if it's Landorus, it's asleep.
Look at this neat. We have a paralyzed Amoonguss and a near KO Thunderous that has not shown HPIs. I
No,
don't
it's
believe.
shown Swagger.
Yes, Swagger.
The
Well, I
winning-
mean, 'cause,
the
like,
winning game
there's
move.
enough variety in Thunderous that he could have both.
Yeah, totally.
But like, it's safe to assume he doesn't. So he could get a free Rock Slide, either pick up the KO on that Thunderous or injure that slowly decaying Life Orb Landorus.
Actually,
He's gonna flinch that mushroom.
we have seen all of Max's moves. We've seen Thunderbolt, Thunder Wave, Swagger, and Protect.
Oh, we saw Protect.
Oh no, that was Rapha's Thunderous that used
Yeah.
Protect. So Rapha gonna get that Amoonguss out after not having done anything 2 turns in a row, and
The
we will see.
Regenerator is important, sir.
That's very true. Amoonguss. Well, okay, whatever. You're like Thunderous though, getting a paralysis on Kangaskhan, that is going to be reasonably good. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
Kangaskhan's almost dead anyways, so as soon as it takes a hit, it's going to not matter. But we'll see Landorus from Rapha's slide finish off that Thunderous, and Amoonguss protected there, so
Alright,
didn't
so
get
we
hit by the
have-
rock slide.
Remaining. Kang. Landorus against Mungus. Kang. Landorus.
And we see a healthy
Correct me if I'm
Kangaskhan versus a non-healthy Kangaskhan.
Oh, that's actually really annoying because now the normal Kang has the faster fake out.
That just offends your sensibilities.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see Rapha what kind of Landorus is Rapha using? He just used Rock Slide. If it's a choiced Landorus, he doesn't get to Superpower now. And that means that Max's Kangaskhan is free to just fake out and finish off the opposing Kangaskhan. Amoonguss gets a Spore, possibly flinches, but if it goes through, it's a Spore. And I don't think Rapha can do anything to stop that, aside from not running choiced Landorus right now.
Assault Vest.
He could be Assault Vest. It's not unreasonable. We'll see what moves he makes. Rapha made a very quick decision there with Landorus, I think.
Confident man.
Oh no, sorry, he's still picking his moves.
Still confident man. He's got this in the bag and he knows it.
Yeah, we also see that the turn timer here, 99 seconds total, so players have gone past the allotted regionals time because we don't know Max's. I think Max has his moves picked out because he's going to win, but Rapha really taking his time, not sure what he's supposed to do against such a dominating player. Yeah, so, I mean, Max really has the ability to just fake out and knock out Rapha's Kangaskhan here. And he'll withdraw Amoonguss, get his own regenerator going into his own Landorus.
Said that too loud. I probably too loud about how good regenerator, and it inspired the idea in Max's head.
Either that, or he just wanted to intimidate on 2 physical attackers, which is a really good play.
Nah.
And Max's Kangaskhan is going to Mega Evolve. And now, even if Landorus on Rapha's side does have the option of Superpower, it's still not going to be able to pick up a KO, barring a critical hit. Which Rapha could do.
One of those.
Deserve, eh?
Okay.
Okay, so we don't actually, we see that Rapha's not a choice Landorus, but it's instead pitiful. So Max brought in a Landorus to get an Intimidate off. He also dodged that Earthquake with it, and Rapha's Landorus, not choice banded, intimidated. Earthquake does almost nothing to Kangaskhan. Yeah.
That's pretty annoying.
Kimo's sitting in stunned silence as he realizes just how bad he's about to lose this first game.
I don't know what adjustment Rapha should, but there are so many games because I run, like many others, a near identical team, and like getting the Amoonguss pressure on, or the Amoonguss pressure, is fantastic. But when you safety goggles Thunderous on the other side, it's not gonna play out the way you.
Yeah, it's interesting that both players had Azumarill, and both players had a Fire type, and neither of them brought them. They opted to instead bring the same 4 Pokemon, but Max having the special Landorus Therian and Rapha having the physical Landorus Therian.
Fire types are out of style.
So, big plays going on there. The current situation, Hovercat, Max's special Landorus, is at about 60% HP. Kangaskhan, not really changed. Rapha's Landorus used a Rock Slide there and did some chip damage. Amoonguss has taken some damage. You know, Max is still free to launch anything into Amoonguss from Kangaskhan, should pick up the KO. And then the opposing Landorus is not faster than Kangaskhan, and it's intimidated, and it doesn't seem to have superpower. So overall, just pretty solid. A special Life Orb boosted Earth Power, though, is very strong, and we do see it pick up the KO on Amoonguss.
Like a surprising amount.
Yeah, no, it is a very strong attack. And actually, we see
the crit on Landers on Kangaskhan. Oh.
And we see Max emphasize just how frustrated Rapha should be with the frustration, picking up big damage. And Landorus, we also notice, is faster than Mega Kangaskhan, despite Mega Kangaskhan having Mega Evolved, and Landorus not being Choice Scarf.
Oh, I figured it out. I know the game adjustment.
Alright, what's that?
Yeah, I gotta make sure I'm not.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't say it.
Bird.
Maybe you shouldn't say it at all, so that everything I've just...
Birds are like flying rats. Let's talk about that.
Actually, it's funny that you say that, because my in-game Pokemon, I love Staraptor. Staraptor is one of my favorite Pokemon. Yeah. And I first nicknamed my I got back into Pokemon in Generation 4 in Diamond and Pearl, so I caught a Staraptor. And at the time, the Starly, I named it Flying Rat.
See? Confirmation from
and then Flying Rat became my favorite Pokemon of Generation 4. So I don't even take Flying Rat as an insult. I mean, Flying Rat is a compliment to me because Staraptor is awesome and Flying Rat is awesome. You don't even know my Flying Rat.
So the adjustment I really want I figured it out. So since we absolutely know that Max's Landorus, his Life Orb Earth Power, to redirect those ground moves, press fire moves. I don't think Max will bring it.
Except that Earth Power does over 50% to Amoonguss, as we just saw.
Yeah, you gotta position it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's going to work out as well as you want it to. I think it's not a bad plan, but it's not going to last for more than 2 turns. And, you know, Heatran still has to contend with a potential Azumarill, contend with Thundurus, Thunder Wave.
I will promise. He's comfortable in what he brought in the last game. Make little to no adjustment.
All right, so you're saying that Rapha needs to bring Heatran, and Max needs to just Thunder Wave the Heatran and have it get paralyzed nonstop.
Stop. Don't wish that on someone. How
I mean, of course, he can also just swagger it after that, and then it's even less than 50% chance that Heatran moves.
I could say that about literally everything.
No, actually, you couldn't.
Immune.
Yeah, so, you know, like 2 of Max's most dominating Pokemon, Landorus and Thundurus, which won him the game there because Landorus is special and has a really good matchup against Rapha's team.
Okay, dude, look. Either you can Kang Heatran, you can apply your pressure with Fake Out, must Heatran have sub, you're solid.
We see Kang Heatran as the adjustment from Rapha, so we'll see how this works out.
Let's do the same lead. Okay, I'm fine with that lead too. That's an easy Fake Out sub.
Fake Out sub, pretty good combo here. If he does Fake Out sub, does Amoonguss just get a free Spore into the Kangaskhan slot?
No,
how bad is that?
Because Max is so afraid of Rapha, so terrified, that he will not Spore. He will Sludge Bomb that Heatran.
Wow, you are making the big predicts there.
I'm making big.
Yeah. Do you want to? I mean, we are not. No, just in general, I don't believe anything you've just said. Kangaskhan will Mega Evolve, and we'll see whether that goes into, say, the Amoonguss predicting that.
No way.
Landorus would protect.
Oh, okay. That shows that Max is a coward. A coward, I say.
Yeah, so we see Max opt to double protect.
Here comes the
we did see
baby.
a Fake Out into the Landorus, and so Max could have really, you know, maybe just taken the Fake Out with Landorus and gone for the Earth Power and spored the Kangaskhan. Amoonguss we saw was Rocky Helmet, so that Fake Out into Amoonguss would have been a bad idea on Rapha's side as well. I think that was a missed opportunity there for Max.
Probably because he's a coward. It's probably because Rapha got up after game 1 and took off his shirt and showed him the muscles, and now he's afraid. It's too much buffness from the splashes right now. Except for Rashawn, don't mind him.
Yeah, I mean, so that was a first turn that played out very well for Rapha.
Yes.
It could have been a more even turn, but Rapha did take advantage of that turn. I'll grant you that.
Solid turn.
So now there's a substitute up. Heatran's going to put on a lot of pressure this game, and Max needs to figure out a way around it. It's going to be tough. I will admit, it's going to be tough. You know, Kangaskhan's intimidated at least. Amoonguss is still free to Spore that slot, and Landorus is free to just Earth Power the Heatran. Heatran probably going to protect if it has it,
yeah.
And Amoonguss going to absorb that Spore, so Rapha just getting that Kang out, preserving the Fake Out, getting rid of Intimidate, making a lot of good adjustments in Game 2, honestly. I will grant you that. That's
I believe that is 2 back-to-back null turns from our boy, Max. That was a really good switch. I liked it a lot. He had, I mean, biggest and most obvious options there were the Kang, just like, I'm going to attack things now. Or the Amoonguss, like, he can now freely Spore, he can redirect whatever he wants, fire off, fire attack.
So I gotta ask then, can Heatran one-hit KO Max's Amoonguss? What do you think?
Probably not.
Probably not. All right, so you are very confident in everything you said up until you weren't.
Because that doesn't matter. See, I know these things.
All right, sounds good. We do see Amoonguss from Max's side retreat into Thundurus, and
my lord.
Max double protects with Landorus. Or sorry, no, last turn he Earth Powered.
No fear from this man.
And Thundurus will take a Heat Wave.
See the burn.
No burn, and Amoonguss not getting the Spore off because Max switched enough Safety Goggles Thundurus, and it went into the Landorus anyways.
I think I'm seeing a free Spore this.
I don't know if it's free.
Is taking a cat nap.
I mean, it's a. I feel like Max could have made another more aggressive play. I don't know how well it would have worked, but if he had Earth powered there, he would have broken the sub, fallen asleep, and Thunderous would have come in with immediate pressure to Thunder Wave that Heatran. And that would have been a reasonable play. Amoonguss obviously useless against that Thunderous, as we saw in Game 1, so he'd be pretty free to do that. No.
Current problem, Landorus. All you have to do, and it's going to work out great, because he's protected. Spore, because even if...
Okay. Go on with your plan. Go on with your plan.
Basically, if you spore the Landorus, it's like either sleep or you care about anyway.
Yeah,
like,
so we
it's
saw...
fine to apply fake out pressure, and like there's nothing incorrect about that move, but like that part.
So we saw Rapha bring Amoonguss back and switching Kangaskhan, which just took a swagger. So Kangaskhan very scary right now, but Landorus will Earth Power that slot, so it's going to do a good amount of damage. Kangaskhan at +2 attack, I don't think it's going to knock itself out with Confusion, not by a long shot, but scary on both sides. You know, Thunderous can now... it can Thunder Wave that slot, and if Kangaskhan doesn't use a priority move like Fake Out, then it's got a less than 50% chance to attack. If it does use Fake Out, that's a strong Fake Out. I think that Fake Out could honestly KO the Thunderous.
Probably.
Because it's a safety goggles Thunderous.
I would support him Fake Outing either slot, really, for the Heat. He'll pick up some KOs. That's a strong maul.
I mean, we saw Max had a Protect on his Thunderous last turn, but Kangaskhan does take the Confusion damage, and that's going to be big. Max launching an Earth Power, breaking that Heatran substitute. So the big question here is...
See that big damage.
What is Thunderous doing? Because it's not using a Prankster move. It's Thunderbolting into...
Okay.
Heatran, so it's going to deal a bit more damage. Heatran not going to have an easy time setting up another substitute, but it gets a Heat Wave off. And Max will survive quite handily with no burns because Heatran is a terrible Pokemon and Rapha has lost his winning position.
I don't know about that. I mean, all he has to do is not hit himself in confusion. Just don't hit himself in confusion. Don't do it. You're going to be set. Actually going to happen this turn is you're going to see the Sucker Punch, no more confusion, onto the Landorus slot and a Heat Wave.
I mean, that would be pretty good. I will grant you that. The Thunderbolt would actually KO the Heatran, I think. Let's see. So 171. It took 25% from the substitute, and then it left it with 65. I think it's got the potential to. It's a roll. It's a roll.
I'll grant you that.
Yeah. Lander's gonna switch out.
But now we're gonna see the Sucker Punch.
Oh yeah. That's your play, eh?
Oh crap.
All right. Well, Kimo feeling very confident here in Rapha's choice of plays, but we don't see a Thunder Wave into Kangaskhan. We see a Swagger into Amoonguss.
We're about to see bloody murder as that return comes out and smacks that Amoonguss in the face.
So Kangaskhan snaps out of confusion and Sucker Punches.
Okay, I still want to point out that I called that happening. Like
yeah, you know your players better than anyone, which is why you can vicariously lose through Rapha here. Yeah, so we saw Kangaskhan snap out of that confusion, so now we've just got a +2 Kangaskhan, but not really taking advantage of that by first hitting itself in confusion and doing a lot of damage to itself. That was a choice. That was a personal choice. And then secondly, Sucker Punching the switching Landorus, another personal choice. Rapha just unable to mount an offensive here.
Which is very annoying. Amoonguss doesn't do a whole bunch. Like, even if it wasn't like gonna get swag parried to death, it doesn't do anything to opposing Moon or Thunderous. Like, Energy Ball won't pick it up. Probably take 2.
So if you're Max, do you just double into the Kangaskhan slot?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason not to. You'll lose one Pokemon, presumably, but not both.
I mean...
That's a trade, though, and I don't know if he wants to make that trade.
It's a possible trade, because just for the Sucker to try to avoid...
Well, so that's the point of doubling in, though. The question,
Oh, yeah.
the question is, Max could opt for something a little more dangerous, like a swagger into the Kangaskhan. It could paralyze the
Oh
Kangaskhan.
my goodness.
If it Thunder Wave the Kangaskhan, that means something else can come in and finish it off instead. But that leaves it around for Sucker Punch.
But I actually, honestly believe he should just smack the Thunderous turn or double edge.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair play.
And do not
we see
score that, please.
we see
Okay.
Thunderous protect, so Max not doubling into the Kangaskhan right off the bat. Kangaskhan using return into the Amoonguss, and it will deal Rocky Helmet damage,
is
but
big
only one turn of it
damage.
because of that swagger that Rapha absorbed earlier. So Kangaskhan otherwise would have knocked itself out had it not gotten that +2 boost. Instead, thanks to only taking one hit, it actually survives this turn, but Max brings in his own Kangaskhan, which will finish it off with Fake Out if it so chooses. And Thunderous can launch.
told Max to swagger that Kangaskhan. That was his choice.
Yeah,
He took
and
the risk.
and then Kangaskhan hit itself in its confusion, and so it did damage to itself that Rocky Helmet would have done anyways. Are you going to the Pyramid Challenge?
I still need that big 8 CP for my Worlds invite.
All right, so Kimo's going to be ducking out just like Rapha is out of the tournament to play in the Premier Challenge coming up.
Fate? The hand?
Yeah, so
Okay,
I mean
no, it's all
Max
good.
gets to just fake out the Rapha's Kangaskhan.
Huh?
I don't know.
Oh, if
no,
any
I
of
don't
them-
think so.
Okay, so Kang, just switch out. Save your fake out for another day. Back that Heatran. Get some left over.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say if I was Max, I might be tempted to just fake out the Kangaskhan and then Thunder Wave the Heatran before it gets a substitute up. But Max opting
Now I
to
really hope
switch
he just
Thunderous
does
out.
Heat Wave like
and-
a man.
And we'll see Max Mega Evolve. Rapha still has that +2 Kangaskhan. Max has to respect that. So what is going to
He
happen
must
here?
be faking out that slot. It's either a Protector or a Heat Wave. Yeah.
Yeah, so Heatran protected. Rapha, not a man. And
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Max
Boys.
getting greedy there. Power up punch into the Heatran slot. He really needed to take care of that
Splish
Kangaskhan.
Splash, take a bath.
We also noticed that Max, despite Mega Evolving on that turn, went before the opposing Kangaskhan, so he could have even power up punched the Kangaskhan.
Yeah. That's honestly huge information.
Yeah. Going into Game 3, that'll be huge information. I really think Max needed to respect that Kangaskhan.
Yeah.
Another missed
That was
opportunity for
really
Max.
risky.
So
Sucker Punch Heat Wave should be a game-ending. I'm gonna go like destroy my PC opponent, and hopefully by just the sheer speed of my playing ability, I will return for your Game 3.
all right, in the meantime, I will take over commentary solo unless Rushan wants to hop in. So we see Thunderous launch a swagger into Kangaskhan. That is the best play that Max can make, launching a swagger into Kangaskhan. Kimo. Kangaskhan going to hit itself in its confusion and die, or get knocked out, sorry. And then Landorus, oh yeah, Kangaskhan hits itself in confusion and gets knocked out. Landorus going to launch an Earth Power into Heatran. Everything's going to be A-okay. Yeah, this is just going to happen. Heatran revealing this Shuka Berry, not going to matter now that it's taken so much damage. So we see Heatran get knocked out there. It's now 2 versus 2, but admittedly Max does have weakened Pokemon. But Rapha also has that Amoonguss in back. Now, Amoonguss really not effective against the opposing Thunderous. Energy Ball dealing, what, 6%? 6% damage, possibly the worst move ever. Meanwhile, Rapha does have Dumb Ugly Bunny, the Azumarill, in the back. So this is an interesting scenario. Max has Protect on both of his Genies. Now, Rapha is in a commanding position here, but it can't knock out both Thunderous and Landorus this turn. Thunderous is free to launch a Thunder Wave into the Azumarill slot. That can do a lot. Thunderous is free to launch a Swagger into the Azumarill slot. That can do a lot. Rapha uses Rage Powder to draw away potential things, but the safety goggles going to allow Max to Swagger that Azumarill. Dumb Ugly Bunny already at +2. Not usually at +2, either +6 or nothing at all. And Dumb Ugly Bunny gets through that and Aqua Jets into the Thunderous, knocking it out. What will Landorus do? Possibly just an Earth Power into the Amoonguss slot because of that Rage Powder. And we'll see it do a very good amount of damage. Not quite 50% there, so that over 50% in the first game was a roll. And Hovercat taking a little Life Orb recoil. It looks like we'll be going to Game 3. So Rapha adjusted very well this game by bringing Heatran and catching a very good lead combination with Heatran Kangaskhan, allowing him to set up a substitute. Max maybe not taking advantage of that first turn where he could have spored the Kangaskhan and Earth Powered the Heatran and just gone aggro. And that would have said, well, if you want to fake out my Landorus, you know, you're intimidated, it's not going to do that much damage, and I get a Spore off on you. So there were a couple missed opportunities there for Max. I think Rapha recovered really well. I'm going to stop being super biased because Kimo's no longer sitting here, so at least the commentary itself needs to be biased. It's all about the averaging out. So how does Max adjust here? We saw Rapha bring Heatran as a Meryl in Game 2. Now, both of those Pokemon are not super thrilled to see Max's Azumarill. It's not like Rapha's Azumarill minds it too much, but maybe Max brings Azumarill this game as an extra answer to Heatran. Although, I think that, you know, given the way the last game progressed, as I said, Max had a couple missed opportunities, 2 turns where very big differences could have happened. The same 4 Pokemon, I think, with an adjustment in playstyle, could pilot him to the win as well. So maybe we just see the same 4 Pokemon from Max, and I think we're going to see the Pokemon that Rapha chose in Game 2 once again, because I think that worked out for him, and he has to respect that. That is one of his best options. Now, both players are choosing their teams. Rapha going to take a bit of time here, so he doesn't have a set plan in mind. Neither of these players were in the top cut today, but both of them are no strangers to the top cut. Rapha, of course, taking second place at US Nationals 2015. Max having a wonderful regional season last year with 2 second place finishes and a 7th place finish at the Seattle Regionals, top 8. So both of these players, very strong players, and we saw that in games 1 and 2, where Rapha adjusted quite well. Now it's going to game 3. So Max issuing a challenge, but we see an Azumarill Kangaskhan lead from Rapha versus a Heatran and Landorus lead from Max. So Landorus gets an Intimidate off immediately, but Rapha leading with that Dumb Ugly Bunny. So this is a lead combination that was popularized in the 2015 Fall Regionals. I recall that the Michigan crew in Caitlin Beach and John McMillan and others ran Kangaskhan Azumarill to a lot of success, which popularized the combo. We also saw Justin Burns Sporific using Kangaskhan Azumarill in Lancaster Regionals and a few others that I can't think of off the top of my head. Now, this lead combination is very threatening. You get Fake Out and Belly Drum, and you just get to start Aqua Jetting things, and Max has 2 very Aqua Jet weak Pokemon on the field. Now, Azumarill's only water attack often is Aqua Jet, so it's not like at this current moment in time, Max is at risk of something, but he's still going to switch that Entei out into Amoonguss. Amoonguss is a great Pokemon to deal with Azumarill, and we'll watch Kangaskhan Mega Evolve. Who does it target? If it fakes out the Landorus, this is going to be a fantastic turn for Rapha. And we do see Fake Out go into the Landorus. Oh, this is going to be a fantastic turn for Rapha. So Rapha, Hovercat flinches and Dumb Ugly Bunny belly drums. So we will see Amoonguss probably redirect a potential belly drum here. Azumarill eating a Citrus Berry. It's a very specific EV spread you want to use. You want to train your Azumarill to have an even amount of HP at level 50 so that it activates Citrus Berry after that belly drum. Azumarill now sitting at 75% HP at +6 attack. But Amoonguss on the field, giving Max an out where he can Rage Powder away a potential Aqua Jet and potentially deal good damage to that Azumarill with Earth Power. Not enough to KO, I don't think. So we'll actually see Amoonguss protect. And what does Landorus do here? Landorus does get to use Earth Power onto the Kangaskhan, which deals good damage, almost 50%, while Kangaskhan returns into the Amoonguss slot and Azumarill play roughs into the Amoonguss slot. So actually, you know, Rapha having a fantastic turn 1, but Max turning it around and having a very good turn 2 of his own. Now, Amoonguss isn't going to take the combination of those attacks. It does have a Rocky Helmet, so that Rocky Helmet damage, if Rapha opts to do that again and Amoonguss lets it happen, is going to bring Kangaskhan down into range where another Earth Power could finish it off. Dumb Ugly Bunny will also take some chip damage. Now, Max obviously needs to respect that Azumarill. Last game we saw a +2 Kangaskhan that Max didn't finish off, and that came back to bite him. from what was, I think, a winning position to less so. So really, what does Max want to do here? He wants to make sure that the Pokemon at +6 does not get to remain on the field for too long, because +6 Aqua Jets will sweep through a team, especially if there's Entei in the back. Max probably having Kangaskhan to round out his 4 Pokemon. It would be very strange to not bring your Mega Evolution in a matchup like this, but I guess we could see Thundurus if Max just felt like that Thundurus was an important Pokemon, but we see Aqua Jet go into the Landorus slot, 1-hit KO. Kangaskhan launching a return into Amoonguss, going to deal a small amount of damage. Rocky Helmet going to deal about as much damage to a Kangaskhan as Amoonguss was just dealt. And maybe Amoonguss sporing here? Yes. Alright, so we see a Spore into the Azumarill slot, and Max has mitigated that threat for now. Thanks to that Aqua Jet, and thanks to the fact that Azumarill is faster than Amoonguss anyways, Azumarill has not taken a sleep turn. Max has some control over this game in that he is not threatened by Azumarill in his coming turn. He's got Kangaskhan now. He can bake out the opposing Kangaskhan for KO and Sludge Bomb the Azumarill for very good damage, but I don't expect it to KO. So he definitely doesn't want Azumarill to take a sleep turn and then wake up the turn after with an Aqua Jet. It'll be interesting to see whether he therefore chooses to, say, Rage Powder and return that Azumarill slot. That would be a good move. I like that move. If Rapha wants to conserve his Kangaskhan, then he can switch it out, and that just means Amoonguss didn't take damage. If Rapha wants to try and take advantage of what needs to be a return on Max's side, it'll go into the Amoonguss slot, and Kangaskhan will take chip damage. So Rapha does preserve that fake out, and brings in his own Amoonguss. We'll see whether Max makes this play to return that Azumarill and finish it off, possibly even doubling into it, just in case that Azumarill is a bit bulky and capable of surviving this Kangaskhan. Oh, but we see a fake out into Amoonguss. Again, I don't like that play. I think that's a missed opportunity. But we'll see what Amoonguss opts for here. Maybe that Sludge Bomb is stronger than I'm expecting it to be. Azumarill does take a sleep turn. Obviously, Azumarill might not wake up on turn 2. You know, it's not like this is over by any means, but no, that's not enough to finish it off. So I don't know the damage calcs on Kangaskhan. It was a slower Kangaskhan, so I'm assuming it's Adamant, possibly Max Attack. I expect Return would have dealt 75% to Azumarill. Yeah, I think that's another missed opportunity on Max's side. But not a bad position by any means. Amoonguss still going to be able to finish off that Azumarill if it so chooses, and Kangaskhan... Oh, and we do see that Azumarill take the second sleep turn, so there was only a 33% chance that it was going to wake up that turn. Max still in a good position, and we see a Frustration go into Rapha's Amoonguss. Going to deal a good amount of damage, and follow it up with another good amount of damage while Max takes Rocky Helmet. Amoonguss now into the red on Rapha's side, and Max does get to finish off that Azumarill. So he's managed to take out that Azumarill, and you know what? Because of the way that those 2 turns played out, that was a fine set of turns for Max. He got more damage on Amoonguss that way. It would have been even better had he done something like Frustration that Amoonguss. We saw that Max's Kangaskhan was faster than Rapha's last game, so he was actually free to Frustration that slot if he so chose. But right now, you know, Sleeping Kangaskhan versus Heatran Amoonguss, and Max has his own Amoonguss. He can get... I think one really big thing there, Azumarill is knocked out now. Now that is huge because there's a Entei in back, and Rapha has a damaged Kangaskhan. So having Entei in back for Max is great. It means that there's really no good Pokemon on the opposing side of the field that's going to be able to deal with this Entei applying its pressure. Max also conserving that Kangaskhan. I like this play from Max because now at some point he's going to be able to bring Kangaskhan in with fake out pressure, and that's going to be a game-winning move for him. We see Amoonguss Sludge Bomb into the Kangaskhan switch in, and that's going to knock Kangaskhan out. So we don't even need that fake out pressure to make sure this happens. Now it's just Heatran Entei, Kangaskhan on Max's side, and Amoonguss on both. So I guess one interesting thing here is that Heatran has Earth Power. Entei often running things like Stone Edge, Sacred Fire, and the other 2 moves are sometimes a bit more variable. It can even run things like Will-O-Wisp. It could run earth moves or ground moves like Bulldoze is a really strange one to to slow your opponent down. Earthquake, an option. So what Entei does here is going to be interesting. It'll start out by protecting. Doesn't want to take unnecessary damage. Max also protecting Amoonguss, so gonna see what happens. Now we see Heatran go for the Earth Power into Entei, Amoonguss go for the Spore. Now this is an interesting situation. Max still has a Kangaskhan in back that is asleep, so it's not going to be too threatening. But I guess Amoonguss can absorb an Earth Power. You might have taken advantage of that turn by bringing in Kangaskhan and just giving Amoonguss back some HP, but that still leaves Entei in a dicey position. Max can Rage Powder away a potential Earth Power, though, which would let Entei get a Sacred Fire off into the opposing Amoonguss, and that might KO it. Kimo will be rejoining me here in just a second. He hasn't seen this match. It's been interesting. There have been a lot of good plays on both sides. We're down to the last bit. There's a sleeping Kangaskhan in the back there. And we see Max use Rage Powder on his Amoonguss to draw away any potential Earth Powers. Entei gets the Sacred Fire off into that opposing Amoonguss. That should pick up the knockout, and it does. So now it's Heatran versus the world. But Heatran, not a bad Pokemon to take on the world. You know, he's behind a substitute. That Heat Wave's going to do good damage. Kangaskhan on Max's side is very likely carrying some sort of fighting move. It's in the yellow. And we see leftovers from Entei. All right, so Entei going to be able to recover HP as this battle goes on. It'll be interesting to see exactly how much damage that Earth Power from Heatran can do. This Kangaskhan, I don't think, has taken a sleep turn. So, yeah. So, yeah, Rapha's substitute is definitely commanding. But Entei also has substitute and leftovers. So in a battle of attrition here, we'll see what Heatran does. It goes for a Heat Wave. That will not break Entei's substitute, I do not believe. And it hits the Kangaskhan, though. So Kangaskhan is down. We're between two Pokemon with substitute and their fire types. Heatran having a better super effective attack in terms of Earth Power. Entei having revealed Sacred Fire, Substitute, and Protect. What's its third move? Likely Stone Edge. Stone Edge, very common on Entei. Now, Stone Edge is a fine move to deal damage to Heatran, but Max is going to be playing the long haul here, where he's going to recover as much HP as possible using leftovers, and that leftovers is likely going to be the big deciding factor in this game. That's very true. Reminding everyone, and it does have Bulldoze. Oh my goodness, I talked about Bulldoze, and I said that it's not a move most people consider, but I guess me and Max talk a lot, and so if anyone wasn't thinking about Bulldoze before, they are now.
I honestly considered it.
Yeah, no, I mentioned it as a potential move, and I said, but no one actually runs Bulldoze. Here we see the Bulldoze. Okay, so here's the C-Trans game. Rapha's going to go down. Earth Power crit. Yeah, so it's interesting. Max is just free to substitute and play it super safe because he's got pressured, as you said. So if Rapha wants to just keep on Earth Powering and Max just uses substitute protect, he's totally fine with that. But he goes straight for the Bulldoze. Yeah, at this point, Max is going to look back at this game and regret this crit Earth Power that's going to hit his Entei.
Do it?
No, not quite. Now, that said...
Now we're going to see that big miss.
Miss the Bulldoze?
Yeah, it's like 95, right?
No, it's 100.
No way.
Yeah, it's 100.
Are you sure?
It hits all Pokemon on the field, including your partner. That's the downside. All right, so that was an exciting finish. Oh, there's the crit. All right, so... All right, so Kimo's going to go remind himself who's the better player, and Max takes a very close game in the NPA 2015 format with Bulldoze Entei. Wow. That was actually a really great best of three. All joking aside, that was a really great best of three. Both players played very well. Max, you know, I kept on saying, I think that was a bit of a missed opportunity, but at the same time, he never made a play that put himself in such a terrible position that he couldn't recover from it. So, those were missed opportunities, but they're safer plays sometimes, in some extent.
Wow, dude, nice. Okay, dude.
Oh, yeah,
Did you
so
see this
apparently...
biased Canadian commentary?
Yeah, so...
Oh, my lord.
So Kimo, I guess you guys weren't hearing there, Kimo's crying right now. Manly tears of joy for his brother, and then sadness for his teammate. Kimo's going to have to go back to the drawing board and figure out how to splash some consistency into the... what is the city name again?
Olivine.
Olivine. All right, so...
I actually remember that one. I actually like that one.
I hope you remember it. You're the manager.
Like,
You're the manager of the team. So yeah, we would like to thank everyone for joining us today. Oh hey, yeah. So we would like to thank everyone for joining us today. This Washington Regional Championships, and that was a National Pokemon Association Best of 3 match in the VGC 2015 format. Yeah, this is winding down. There's a Premier Challenge going on, but I don't think we'll be streaming that.
No.
So thanks, guys, for tuning in this weekend.
Real.
Yeah, I've been your commentator, Mark, a.k.a. Crawdont.
Yeah. The hero in your hearts.
Kimo Nishimura, scrubbed out of regionals. And you just watched a match between VGC with Hats offers. Obligatory plug. www.vgcwithhats.com. You can check out our new spiffy hats here. Yeah, looks pretty good. All right, so we'll be signing off. Thanks to Nugget Bridge for hosting and Rushan for setting this up for us. And we'll see you guys next stream.